everyone. Hi. So sorry, I don't really have much makeup on and didn't do anything with my hair. I came home from work, relaxed for a while, and I was gonna do it right after I scheduled the stream, but I got distracted in my comment section, and so here we are. I don't care, whatever. I'm going to sleep soon after the stream anyway, so I'll just whatever. But so when I was at work today, I go in on early on Mondays and do some like just some weekly work and everything around there that we don't usually do every day, and it takes me about 2 hours to do. So I listen to stuff while I do this, usually music, but today I woke up because I fall asleep with my earbuds in my ear all the time. Instead, you know how like a lot of people need the TV on when they go to sleep. Well, the TV kind of bothers me, the light and all that. But I like to hear shit when I go to sleep. So I just listen to podcasts, YouTube, whatever. But I woke up this morning, and because I don't listen to stuff that's like hours long, I'll wake up surprised all the time at what I'm listening to. Usually it's like, someone, a creator I know, like their live stream or whatever. But today it was something new. But it drew me in like right away. It was fascinating. So I kept listening to the series or whatever as I went to work and as I was at work. And it was probably right before I went to open the place up that I was listening to this part. And I must have looked like an idiot standing there at work with like this. Like my head was going to explode. Like I couldn't believe what I was seeing, but I wasn't seeing anything I was hearing. But, I can't really explain it. I mean, I can try to explain it to people at work. I've explained some YouTube shit to them before, and they were fascinated. But I don't know. I feel like this is something that most of only us are really going to grasp, because you kind of have to know Katie Joy to just know how mind-blowing this is, because this is her. This is her to a T, in my opinion. This is her. I call it opinion, but it's her. But before I get to that, let me say hi, people. Oh, there's not many people in chat. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. No, there's people watching, but not many in chat. Hey, Cool Gamer. Hi, Peter. Hi, Angels Among Us, 95. Hi, all. And hi to the other 25 people watching. I know, it's late. Again, I scheduled the stream last minute. Whatever. It is what it is. But let me pull up what it is I'm talking about here. I kind of want to leave that open too. Let's see. So it's part of a stream or podcast, whatever from Dr. Phil. And say what you want about Dr. Phil. Yeah, he's not a doctor, whatever. I don't give a shit. He's not even licensed to practice or whatever, his psychology. Well, I think he is a doctor in the sense that he has a doctorate, but I'm not positive on that. But I'm pretty sure he is. But he's not a doctor as far as like a therapist or anything goes anymore, because he's just not. He hasn't. Last I knew, he hasn't kept up with his license. But the man has still studied human behavior and psychology and the like or whatever for probably as long, if not longer, than I've been alive. So I'm gonna probably listen to him on a lot of shit, because I'm going to view him as someone, whether even if he's caused harm before in the past. I mean, because I know there's this stuff with the ranches and everything, which, yeah, it's kind of fucked up. But a person can be completely wrong in one area and still know what the fuck they're talking about in another area. And since I'm not going to hold people to purity tests on whether or not I can benefit from any of the information they're putting out there, I'm not going to do that to him, or with him, rather, I should say. So he has this podcast called Fill in the Blanks or whatever. And he's been doing like episodes, whatever, on all kinds of like human behaviors and whatever. Is it human behavior? I think that's I think that's the term. And one of these, or disorders rather, maybe, one of them that he's covered quite well is narcissism and the different kinds of narcissism. And he got to this one kind, and he started explaining, and holy shit. Because I see, and this stood out to me because I have been, I mean, if you ask Tina from the old Facebook group there, she probably has gotten quite annoyed with me at times because I've said over and over again, I don't think she's a narcissist. I don't think that that's a correct term to label her with. I've pretty much just chucked everything she's done up to like entitlement, even if it's like an extreme form of entitlement, you know. But that just, now looking back, and now after hearing all this, that just really showed my ignorance, the fact that I kept saying that, I think, because I never really gave enough time or effort into learning about things like narcissism, because I never had to deal with it. I don't think. I mean, I've never grown up. I cannot think of one person in my family who could even lightly be called a narcissist. I mean, I've heard stories about some family members, but no one I've actually met or known. I never grew up with it. I never experienced it like that. I think I probably dated maybe a couple of them, but I mean, not for long, probably, you know. Just, it's never been something I really had to, I don't know. It's not a term I needed to have in my knowledge base or whatever, because there's something in my life in which it could be labeled as such. But after hearing this, I think that was my mistake, and I probably should have learned more about it a little bit sooner than this. Let me get here quick. Oh, okay. Hey, Dirty Uncle Sal. Hey, turned narcissism. Oh wait. Oh, turned. Narcissism. The diagnosed version is actually rarely diagnosed. Okay. Wasn't the show Bull after him? I don't know. I know that the Dr. Phil show contacted Katie Joy in the beginning effort of possibly having her on the show, which I have to say, her response to that, her stream that she responded to that, was probably one of the very few and rare times I actually laughed as a result of what she was, not at her. I was laughing kind of with her. She was actually funny in this one part of that stream, you know. And as we all know, anytime she's tried to be funny before, it's been tough. It's been quite difficult to watch. But this was actually really funny, I thought. But okay, anyways, that's neither here nor there. Let me get to my history here. There we go. And let me get to the part I want to start from. Okay, so about 3142. We're going to back up just a couple spots. Okay, so this stream, this version he did, it's 2 months old. And it's, like I said, it's from the podcast Fill in the Blanks. And it's episode 175. It's the full episode, but we're not going to listen to the full episode, just like maybe the last 12 minutes. And it's titled Malignant and Communal Narcissist, Part 4. So this one here, we're going to just listen to the portion of the stream or this podcast describing and talking about the communal narcissist. I say, I never even heard of a communal narcissist before. I heard malignant before. I've heard of covert, you know, but communal, I never heard about. Quite interesting. Okay, let me share screen. I'll put a link for this too in the description and whatnot, and in the chat in just a moment. Okay, so there we go. Oh wait, I have to do this too. Okay.
Things I've gone through before. I'm not going to make you sit through them again. You're really getting good at this. You don't need me to keep repeating myself. But the communal narcissist is the one that makes us debate whether or not there is any true out. The one that at this, all the things All four types have the same characteristics, the need for attention, constant validation, blah, 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 all the things I've gone through before. I'm not going to make you sit through them again. You're really getting good at this. You don't need me to keep repeating myself. But the communal narcissist is the one that makes us debate whether or not there is any true altruism in the world. Altruism being when you do something just for the sake of someone else. Nothing in it for you. You just do it for the sake of someone else. They're the absolute antithesis of that. They only do something for other people to draw attention to themselves. I call these the gala narcissist. They're the ones that will throw a $10,000 gala to raise $100.
He talks so slow.
Now, they do this because they want their picture in the paper. They want to talk about all of the do-gooding they're doing. They want to wear that on the sleeve and beat the drum and beat you over the head with it and show you how much better than you they are. They want their picture in the paper holding that puppy. They want their picture in the paper down at the hospital with the nurses. They want their picture in the paper planting the trees in the park. They want to have credit for every charitable thing you can possibly imagine. They're the communal narcissist. They want to be known. They don't want to give a penny without their picture being taken. They don't want to give a minute of their time, a bit of their energy without acknowledgement. Now, you may think, well, look, that's okay as long as they're doing it. Well, yeah, that's okay. But the point is, they put their own need for acknowledgement and validation ahead of the cause that they're supposedly supporting. So they will pull the focus onto themselves instead of the children every single time. Whereas if they spent this camera time on the children.
I just because I have to. So, hey, Kimmo. Kimmo says, altruism is a pretty iffy proposition. Not sure it exists. I have to agree. And my argument for this, it comes down to that episode of Friends where Phoebe and Joey are kind of arguing whether or not doing a good deed is selfish. Because Joey was of the belief or whatever that all good deeds are not selfless, because people do good things because of the good feeling it gives them. They benefit from a good deed, from doing the good deed. And, Phoebe is like, nuh-uh, so she tried to do all these good things without feeling good, but she found herself feeling good afterwards. So, and it's a silly, example or whatever, but it's not though. It's kind of not, because it really does highlight that. Is it really altruism? Is it really a good deed? If there's any benefit whatsoever from the person doing the good deed, it's not selfless, right? And is that an issue? I don't think it's an issue. I don't. I mean, if you're doing something because it makes you feel good, to do something kind or to help someone in need, then I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, I don't think that whether or not it's true altruism or whatever takes away from the fact that you did this good deed. I'm fine with that. But that's not what what he's explaining here isn't just someone who just kind of contradicts, true altruism or whatever. This is someone who doesn't do a damn thing because it makes them feel good. It's because they benefit in superficial ways, like with like clout or notoriety or popularity. It's not because they feel good. Oops, wrong one. Where am I? Okay.
They might have raised 10 times as much money instead of on them. They might spend $1,000 on an outfit that if they had just given that to the charity, one of the charities we work with is Feeding America, they get 8 meals out of every dollar. They could have got 8,000 meals out of what he or she may have spent going down there to get ready for a picture session. But it's all about them. It has to be about them. You'll run into these people at work. They'll come in and do your work because they honestly believe they're being helpful and they think they are the linchpin that holds everything together. If it wasn't for them, this whole thing would collapse and shut down. It's just, they're the most important person there. If they don't get to do everything that they're doing, everything would collapse. Anybody that has any other interest than their interest, whatever it is, whether it's work or a cause or whatever they happen to be focused on at the time, they condescend to them, put them down, criticize them. Because what's important to them at the time and getting attention to them at the time, anybody that's not 100% focused on that and therefore them, they'll trash. They'll put them.
Okay. Remind you of like the January 6th insurrection, for example. I mean, it literally went from one day not even talking about Trump or any of his supporters. Oh, Kitty's got a hairball. Not even talking about Trump or any of his supporters, to instantly anyone who likes Trump or who voted for Trump or supports Trump or doesn't condemn and absolutely hate Trump like I do, you're shit, you're a piece of shit, and you need to don't even follow my channel. I don't even want you here. You know, like that's what it went to. And that's what it's always like though, because like it starts off, you know, kind of unbiased, mostly, you know, trying to remain objective, you know, till it, and it's like, you never know which way she's going to fall. You kind of start to see which way she's going to fall, though, when you see people coming for her. Like, if she's not condemning something or someone to the liking of her viewers, and her viewers are like, what do you mean? Why aren't you calling them out? Are you supporting them? And it's like she takes offense to that. So it's almost like that's what pushes her into kind of siding with the unpopular opinion, because someone dared question her. Someone tried confronting her, like, fuck you. This is my channel. I'll do what I want, which I mean, I fully support that being the case, but I kind of feel like that's how she picks which side she's going to fall on. It all comes down to who most of her viewers want to give her, or what most of her viewers want to give her shit about. And then she goes to the other side. I don't know, my opinion, whatever.
Down every step of the.
But like Amber Heard is a good example. She wanted to side with Amber Heard. Oh no, in the beginning, I don't know who she wanted to side with, but it's like she just didn't even hear much of it, maybe, or whatever. But she just automatically was all for Amber Heard. That's the one and only time I think that I seen she wanted to side. She wanted to come out and argue in defense of Amber Heard and all things, you know, women and everything, and against, you know, the abusive, you know, horrible man, you know, Johnny Depp there. But I think that's the one and only time she actually felt like she thought she might catch a little too much slack for that. She might not be able to come back from that. So she just shut the fuck up and moved on from that. But any other time, nah. It's like she wants to fight just for the sake of fighting, which I gotta say, and I don't judge her for that. That would make me a hypocrite, probably.
The way they'll overstep their boundaries, particularly when they're volunteering for a cause. These are the people that will create all kinds of drama and problems just so they can solve them. These are the kind of people that will start a fire just so they can rush into the building and save somebody.
Now, I don't know who here remembers, but a year ago, maybe or so, I put a tweet up and I was explaining how like a family member had asked me like about Katie Joy, like what's the deal with Katie Joy? You know, who is she? Like, why does everyone dislike her or whatever? You know, why is she so polarizing? I forget how it was actually worded, but that's the explanation they wanted. So I gave an explanation, and I don't remember word for word, but in one part though, I was like, she kind of worms her way into something. And you know, like there could be a circle trying to keep her out, but she'll weasel her way in. She'll get a foothold in there or something. She'll get in there, and then she'll just drop a grenade. You know, just silently just drop the grenade. People may or may not see it. They'll either get blown up or they'll run away trying to get the fuck away and probably get blown up then. But it doesn't matter, because once the destruction has been committed, you know, once she blew the fucking shit out of it, she will then, or like she'll run away though before the thing goes off. She'll drop it. She'll run away. Everyone else gets blown up or whatever, just burnt to hell. Then when the coast is clear, she comes back. She picks up all the broken pieces, and then she puts everything back together the way she thinks it should be. Like, that's how she kind of moves in and takes control and takes over a narrative and then changes the narrative and then puts out what she thinks that the narrative should be. Mm-hmm. Yep. And it's just funny because like I feel like that's kind of like what he was saying there. Like they'll create the drama just so that they can retell the story or whatever it is. Just restructure things to their liking or to their opinion, whatever. How did he word it? I want to hear that again.
When they're volunteering for a cause, these are the people that will create all kinds of drama and problems just so they can solve them. These are the kind of people that will start a fire just so they can rush into the building and save somebody.
So they can solve them. Okay.
Now you may think, whoa, well, that just crossed the line. Well, yeah, it did. But that's the whole point. It doesn't matter what you do. Everything's got to be about them. If you're playing golf, they're correcting your swing. If you're playing tennis, they're telling you how to serve. They're just way over involved. And God forbid they're in some kind of a support group. Man, they're going to dominate and take everybody under their wing only for attention. If it really involves time and sacrifice, they'll ghost you like you wouldn't believe. You let the cameras go away. You let attention go away. You let work need to be done that nobody even knows they're doing. No, ain't going to happen because it's all about them. Now, when you're dealing with these people, it's better to avoid saying anything at all because just like I've said, they're going to gaslight you. They're going to jump to the moral high.
Okay. Now this is like one of the main reasons why I wanted to play this too, because I know like a lot of people feel frustrated and they get angry or whatever. And so I thought maybe just hearing this last part of it could just maybe help. If not with, just people online or whatever, just maybe even possibly with someone in your own personal life, but I mean, I don't know. I just feel like these are good tools that he's about to like explain.
High ground and say, oh, really? So I care too much. Is that what you're saying? So your objection is that I'm trying too hard, that I'm helping too much, that I want to draw too much attention to the cause. That's what you're saying? You'd rather me be like you and just stand over to the side and let everything just fall apart. Let me tell you, you're just wasting your time. Stay true to your own values. If you're interested in something, you're interested in a cause, don't let them alienate you from that. If you've got somebody down there that's just, oh my God, they just wear you out. It's so easy for you to say, it's just not worth it. Don't let them run you out of something that you really care about. Don't do it. You just got to put up boundaries and just tell them, look, I'm not willing to do this with you. I'm not going to have this conversation. I'm not going to talk about this. You do what you do. I'll do what I do. And they'll bait you. They'll say, well, so you're saying I'm not saying anything. You go do what you do and I'm going to do what I do. Don't let them run you out. If you are passionate about rescuing animals and you volunteer at the shelter and there's a communal narcissist down there that's trying to dominate and control and change and dictate and all of that, let me tell you, those animals need your help. Don't let that person alienate you. And
I mean, I just pictured like this, all of this taking place like at an animal shelter or whatever, volunteering for animals. And how long do you think before Katie declared herself the vet? I couldn't let it go. I had to say something. Yeah, and like one thing I've said from like day one, and I say this only because it's just I don't know. I feel like I learned kind of like at a young age, or maybe probably a normal average age, but it's still a young age. I think I learned that just if other people's behavior or realizations or whatever, if other people's reactions or behavior are what's going to dictate your feelings or something, I don't know how to word it. If your anger, if you not being angry, if your satisfaction in life is based or is contingent on the actions or behaviors of other people, then you're going to be let down every single time. Every time. Because no one else is in your head. No one else is feeling the things that you're feeling. I mean, they may be to some degree, to a little degree, but you're unique in that sense because only you know what's going to satisfy you. And what's going to satisfy you maybe more or less than what those around you are seeking. So if you're looking for satisfaction to come from something like social justice, or Katie taking accountability, or Katie realizing she's wrong, or everyone else on the internet realizing Katie is, full of shit or a piece of shit or whatever, you're going to be let down every single time, every time. And it's just a waste of time and energy to even really think or expect or even argue for anything like that. Because you can't make that happen. And why would you want to, really? But so if you're following this, if you're watching any of this, and you are doing so with the expectation that there will come a day where she's gonna face the music or something, just realize that if you don't like to have to look back on a lot of time wasted, then perhaps you may want to leave the community now, because it's never going to happen. It's just not. The only thing you can do, I think, and this is something that, I've said before, like, it's cathartic for me just to simply call it out, talk it out, label it, define it, whatever, just stage it, highlight it, showcase it, whatever. That's enough for me. I'm not looking for anything to come from it. I'm not looking for my staging of any such content to be some sort of motivational factor or manipulation tool or whatever to, I don't know, help inspire people to behave a certain way, or to do things that I think would be just or whatever. So yeah, it's just enough for me to just put it on display. That's it. And then everyone else can see it and see it through their own eyes, through their own perception, their own subjectiveness. And then they can take what they want from it, and then they can come to whatever conclusions that they come to. That's all I can hope for. That's all I can ask. That's it. But just hearing that, though, it's kind of reassuring to know that, like, all right, at least, this part, this one thing that I spend my time in my life doing, at least I went into this in the right mindset, the right frame of mind or whatever. Because when it comes to many areas of life, that doesn't happen too often. So it's like, okay, I did something kind of, well, at least I didn't fuck it all up here anyways, but, I don't know. It's fun to talk about this stuff. It's fun to talk about and just see and learn, and even be shocked and possibly even horrified maybe about some of the things that other people do. And I don't mean like the really horrific things, like, like the stuff like the true crime channels cover. I mean, I get that. I do. Me personally, I don't want to cover. I don't want to hear or know about all that. This stuff here, though, this stuff fascinates me. And the lack of realization or self-reflection is just, wow, it blows my mind. But anyway, I don't know. I'm babbling right now, I think. This, just listening to this podcast, though, it was like,
and run you out. Stay true to what you care about. Don't let them control you. And if they try to bait you, just don't take the bait. Just don't take the bait. Just tell them, look, this is just not up for discussion. I'm down here to help the animals, and I'm going to go clean these cages. You do whatever you want to do. I'm going to go feed these animals. I'm going to go wash these animals. I'm going to clean these cages. I'm going to do whatever. I'm going to put these flyers out. You do whatever you're going to do. I'm not going to have this discussion with you. Don't let them run you out. It's so important that you not let them drive you away from something that you care about and that you are passionate about, because if they can get it where nobody's paying any attention to anybody but them, they'll do it. And who suffers? The children, the environment, the animals, whoever. Don't let them run you out. Don't take the bait. Okay, so the communal narcissist is that feels like they have to be the center of attention in any project. They're condescending to anybody that doesn't play the game the way they want it played. And they will try and dominate and domineer and drive you away. Don't let it happen. Don't try to change them, because like I've said, narcissists just simply aren't going to get better. I've told you the things not to say to a narcissist because they're going to gaslight you, and you say, well, I'm smart enough to out-gaslight them. Well, take that same energy and spend it on yourself or spend it on something worthwhile, because it's not going to benefit the narcissist. You're not going to change them. Well, guys, we spent this time talking about narcissism, the classic narcissist, the covert narcissist, the malignant narcissist, the darkest one of all. And I could talk forever about narcissism and how it plays out in conversations and negotiations and relationships and parenting.
See, I woke up listening to I think it was the first one he was talking about narcissism on. So I listened to all the episodes here where he covered all the different types of narcissism. And there's certain traits of each category of narcissism where there's someone in my life who's like, oh, but no one I know, like, really, I think, in my opinion, meets enough criteria for it to be even considered to be a diagnosis. But you see traits. We all have traits like that. And anyways, and it's just, I never heard of communal before, and hearing him explain it, I was like, holy shit. Like, there's someone I know of who fits like every single, qualification, or whatever you want to call it. Every single symptom, or I'm not sure about. Where did that go? There's something I wanted to read. It's just odd that Molly's gone and Charlotte is gone, but the incel Katie's still going. You just called her an incel. Oh, God. Well, I wouldn't say it's odd. It's not odd. I don't think that that's odd at all. I think that that's even to be expected when you're talking about a platform like YouTube and some of the other content creators who helped work to make it so that this is the case. Not so much that Katie was still on, but definitely so that, Molly and Charlotte, for that matter, were not on. I'm not at all surprised that that's where we're at now, because just it's really, I don't expect an ending that's not fucked up by now. But I get it, though. It's bullshit. It is bullshit. Where'd it go? Okay, Estelle says, there's no such thing as true altruism, and there shouldn't be. Why would it be ethical for me to expect to put your happiness and success second to mine? The whole idea is gross. I agree. No, I completely agree that there's no such thing as true altruism. But I don't, like, for me to expect to put your own happiness and success. So why would it be ethical for me to expect you to put your happiness and success second to mine? Well, I mean, then that would be what you would be the person who was on the benefiting end of a good deed, right? Yeah, that would definitely wouldn't make you altruistic. That would, I think, I mean, if you're expecting people to do good deeds for you, to help you in your time of need, it's one thing to ask and hope. It's another thing to expect. So, I don't think expecting that kind of sounds like entitlement. So I don't, yeah. I think, though, like, when people talk about altruism, I think that they're using that word to describe the person doing the good deed, and doing it even though they know it is likely to be a sacrifice of some kind. But they're sacrificing in one area, but they're benefiting in another because of the feel goods that they get from it, and maybe even like, maybe some people have a little bit of like the recognition that they like. I mean, maybe it's not clout, maybe it's not notoriety, maybe it's not what's the word I'm looking for? Adoration. Maybe it's not that they care about. Maybe it's just appreciation, But regardless, I don't think any of that really matters, because I think you're right. There is no such thing as true altruism. There isn't. And there could be. I mean, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be, but I don't think that it should be ever expected of anyone at any time by anyone. That's not altruistic. Is that altruism, though? I thought altruism was people choosing to do things that will benefit others, even though it may harm themselves. You know, I don't know. Maybe I don't really know much about it, enough about it to really. Maybe I have the wrong idea. The belief in or practice of disinterested and selfless concern for the well-being of others. Okay, so it's altruism is the belief is the decision to believe or to practice in acts and concern that benefit others and their well-being before it benefits yourself. That's how I read that. I could be wrong. Like, okay. What is an altruistic person? But I mean, you're absolutely right, though. This should never be expected of anyone. There should never be, no one should ever be forced or bullied or pressured into any kind of altruistic act. And then it's coercion, I think, really, more than anything. But whatever you want to call it, it should never be, I mean, it should never be expected. Oh, here's a more in-depth description. Altruism is the unselfish concern for other people, doing things simply out of a desire to help, not because you feel obligated to out of duty, loyalty, or religious reasons. See, I would think that even if you felt obligated to out of like duty or loyalty, for example, that I don't know, I would expect that to still fall under altruism because you still have a choice. You're choosing, though, you're still choosing to do this, and you're choosing to do it and knowing it's going to possibly, probably even likely be at a cost to you and benefit someone else. But instead of doing it simply because you want to help this one person, you're doing it because you want to help the overall goal, the group, I think. That's what loyalty sounds like to me. So I would expect loyalty to fall under that, but it doesn't. Huh? I never would have thought that. Interesting. Okay, let me go back here. All right. I'm not going to get too much into the discussion about altruism because then I think Steve will just somehow, like, you know how like you clap and an angel earns its wings. So I think Steve's going to hear the philosophy discussion happening and he's going to appear, which he can appear. That's fine. But he's going to appear and then start talking philosophy. And no, I don't want that. Yeah, incident nap. People may think they're being altruistic, but the reward is feeling good about what you're doing. That's the whole like the friends argument I mentioned earlier. Yes, you have a right, it's just gross because it applied to everyone. Yeah, no, you're great. You're right. I completely agree with that. It's funny though, like because I was just reading this here for a second before I switched over. There is some evidence to suggest that when you help others, it can promote physiological changes in the brain linked with happiness. Helping others can also improve our support networks and encourage us to be more active. This, in turn, can improve our self-esteem. So, is it really altruistic? I mean, okay, if I put you down, are you going to stay down or are you going to jump up and then crawl over in the desk and then get back over here on me? Huh? Because you act like you don't want to be up here, but if I put you down, you come right back up. She won't even look at me when I talk to her. She's like, nope, I'm ignoring you. I'm ignoring you. Fucking cat. Okay, so yeah, that was that. That was it. That was the end of that stream. But seriously though, like some of this is really interesting, like especially the narcissism ones. I'm going to be listening to this podcast a lot more often. But someone said something else though that I found that I want to look into. Where'd it go? I had it up on the screen there for a minute, but I'm going to read it out loud anyways. So Turnt says he actually has, Dr. Phil, he actually has a really long video where he reads his book on narcissism. That's a good listen while you sleep because it's so long, but it helped me diagnose my mother. LOL. Thank you for that. I'm going to look for that. And I think that's what I'm going to put on when I go to sleep tonight. Thank you. Wasn't the show Bull after him? I don't know. I know which show you're talking about. I loved that show. I really liked I liked that show and another show that was canceled like a while ago called Lie to Me. I think that was the name of it. Like that was a fucking fantastic show. I'm so mad that it went away. I think that was the name of it. Yep, that was it. Lie to Me. 2009. It was only on for 3 seasons. Oh wow, that was a while ago. It went off the air like over 10 years ago. Holy shit. But it was really good though. Like here, I'll just read you a quick synopsis of it or whatever. It's an American crime drama television series. It originally ran, okay, I don't care about that. Dr. Cal Lightman and his colleagues in the Lightman Group accept assignments from third parties, commonly local and federal law enforcement, and assist in investigations, reaching the truth through applied psychology, interpreting micro expressions through the facial action coding system and body language. That just, and it was, I mean, I don't know how true like this much of the science is or whatever, the claimed science or whatever is, but I don't care. It's still interesting. Why was it canceled though? It was originally set, the third season was originally set to premiere on November 10th, 2010. On September 28th, the date was moved up to October 4th because of the cancellation of Lone Star. On May 11th, Fox canceled Lie to Me after 3 seasons. That doesn't say. The show was inspired by the work of Paul Ekman, a specialist on facial expressions and a professor emeritus of psychology at the University of whatever School of Medicine. Ekman has been an advisor to police departments and anti-terrorism groups. He was a scientific consultant in the production of the series. The lead character of Lie to Me, Cal Lightman, is based on Ekman. I didn't know that. I didn't know that last part. Interesting. Okay, I don't know if that should interest you. I highly suggest checking out the 3 seasons. It will leave you wanting more. I'm going to be honest, but it's still good. It's still very interesting to watch. All right, let me close that out. Did Dr. Phil go to Trump University Medical School or did I get wrong info? I think you might have gotten wrong info on that. I don't know. Something tells me you might. I mean, Trump Medical School. Trump has a medical school. There's a medical school somewhere named after Trump. Okay, where did he go to school? So it says here he went to Shawnee Mission North High School, the University of Tulsa, Midwestern State University, and University of North Texas. So unless one of those is Trump school now, I don't think he went to anything with Trump was associated with it or anything. Thanks for answering. Hello. It's like when you help a classmate cheat on a test. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, okay. Wait, I don't know. Or in KJ's case, she would just steal your story as her own. Yeah. I know. Oh my God. What is it? I was on Twitter and like now she sees herself in Jill Duggar. Is that what she said? I was like, seeing myself. Like, shut the fuck up. You got nothing in common with this girl. Nothing. Not a damn thing. You grew up nothing like her. Nothing. You had one fucking sibling. First of all, I don't care what she says. Her father is not at all the man she's been describing. And I know nothing about the man, but let's face it, he's not. She did not have any kind of horrific traumatic experiences as a result of her Catholic school upbringing. I mean, they may not have all been pleasant, but not in the sense that she's been talking anyway. There's a lot of other things and claims she's made that I disbelieve. Some I've even used to previously believe, but I no longer do. She was never on a reality TV show, let alone with like her family being on one. Dude, she's got nothing in common with Jill, not a fucking thing. And so it's disturbingly, it's delusional, but it's disturbingly delusional that she thinks that she does. I mean, that's just crazy. It was Texas. Oh, no, I read it got revoked for. No, he didn't get revoked. His license, is that what you're talking about? No, I actually I looked into this because of a bunch of shit Katie was saying once, and he didn't lose his license. I know what you're talking about. There was something, he was reprimanded or something, but I don't know I don't believe that the board quite believed or bought everything that the complainant had said regarding him in that regard, as far as his behavior went, Dr. Phil's behavior. But I do think that they determined that he hadn't kept his boundaries quite like he should have as a therapist. Like he gave the woman a job because he felt sorry for her and shit. And as a therapist, you can't really do that, I guess. It makes sense, but that's the impression I got when I got done reading about it. But he never reapplied for his license. Like when he moved to California, I don't know. I don't think he ever had a license in California, maybe, but it's been a while since he had one from what I read. But he would just have to apply and be approved for one again. And also, I think that one of the main reasons why he didn't he's chosen not to do that is because then I think he and the show would be more liable if he was accredited in that manner. I mean, because right now, like his show since day one has been listed as like entertainment. He's an entertainer, not there in a professional, psychological capacity. With a license, though, that could be different. But I don't know. I don't know for sure. I did the one time looking into it, and that's what I came away with. So I don't know. I just remember he was sued by someone. I forget who, but the last name was Rico. And Katie read that wrong. Katie kept saying or going with the narrative that he got a Rico charge. It's like, what? Oh my God, that was funny. I remember that now. Yeah, he does market himself as a doctor. Yeah, I know. Well, he markets himself as a he doesn't use doctor, even though it's Dr. Phil. I think there's an argument. He could argue, say he means it like the doctoral sense rather than the medical doctor. But if at least I never heard him market himself as a licensed authoritative person in that regard. But he definitely does display himself and claim to be and well-versed and very knowledgeable and has studied his entire life in these aspects or whatever, which may be very well be true. But yeah, it does definitely present himself to be this expert. But I mean, I don't know. I kind of argue that maybe he kind of is, you know, I mean, I don't know. I think he knows his shit when it comes to talking about people, but I don't think he knows his shit when treating other people, because that's something I don't think he is an expert in. And I don't think that he's done for a while. And I would think that he would have to be better equipped if he were to do that in a professional setting. But I think he's pretty damn good at explaining shit and noticing shit in other people, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, you don't need one for that. There's a character on SNL. Wait, I can't read that. The stupid heart thing and the chat thing is always in the way. I can never read the last one. There's a character on SNL, Penelope, that's like KJ, always one-upping everyone. You know that? Remember that character from Saturday Night Live, Debbie Downer? I call Mike Debbie Downer all the time because that's totally what he's like. Like I'd be like, guess what happened today? And I'll tell him, and then he just say like the most like fucking, I don't know, like fun sucking thing you could ever imagine. And it's like, well, okay. That was that wind, that breeze you just felt was the fun literally being sucked right out of the room. I need a nap. Yeah, that's a good name. Funny. Oh well. All right, it's 2:30. I wasn't gonna stream for all too long. I just wanted to share that because I feel like other people should have to hear that, and they too should walk around with their shock face all day and their mouth open, like what? I should not have to be alone in that. What? What did Katie post? In 2004, Josh Duggar was caught looking at adults type of material of adults, I'm guessing, on a phone during the Senate campaign of Jim Holt. When Jim lost the election, the men at church decided that Josh caused the loss because of his sin in the camp. Alice told me, isn't there some sort of drama or some shit, whatever, behind like Alice? Like, who is Alice and is she real? Like, is she alive? Or I don't know, whatever. I'll figure it out. Alice told me today about the harsh discipline that left Michelle in tears. A second source at the meeting said, it was nothing. It was like nothing I've ever seen in my entire life. For 14 hours, church members rebuked, scolded, berated, and read scripture to Josh. The environment was, quote, hostile, and many people there had no idea why people were mad at Josh. Josh's SA of minors was not known by everyone in the church. So while half the men berated and yelled at Josh, others sat there completely bewildered. The meeting went well past midnight, and the goal was to cleanse Josh of his sins and force him to repent. These men that were aware of the abuse did not report Josh to police. Instead, they publicly humiliated him for 14 straight hours, believing this would fix him. Wait, what? I thought that people were berating him for 14 hours because he got looking at some adult content on a phone. Right? Isn't that what she said? But now she's saying that the men who berated him for 14 hours, they knew that it was because of abuse. And instead of bringing him to the police for the abuse, they separated him from, like, she can't keep things separate in her mind. Everything has to involve this abuse. Everything. Because I mean, I know we've all said it before in the past, like she enjoys it. She enjoys talking about it. I think she really enjoys it. Like, that's disturbing. And I think what she's really enjoying too, like, she's really enjoying the thought of someone like Josh being berated for 14 hours and being in prison right now and being probably assaulted in prison. Like, she enjoys that in much the same way, in my opinion, that Josh enjoyed looking at the shit that landed him in prison for looking at. Like, that is gross. I don't even want to think about this shit. It's fucking gross. Is there any wonder why Josh only got worse over time? I think it was pretty bad back then, too. I mean, I'm not so sure he got worse. I think he just kind of stayed the same. Like, by saying that, she's almost shifting the blame for Josh being who he is onto those around him. Is there any wonder why Josh got worse over time? No wonder why Josh got worse, because he was yelled at and berated for 14 hours by these people instead of something else. These people caused Josh to become worse over the years. That's what she's saying. I don't agree with that. Not one bit. No, I'm sorry. I'm not even sharing the screen I'm looking at. I'm being rude. I'm not going to look at it though for much longer. EKs, are you on the East Coast? Yes, I am. It's 2:36 a.m. where I am. I'm always up though this late, mostly because I'm at work. I'm always up this late. All right. But anyways, this is what I was looking at. LB shared it too. Is she now defending his actions? A 14-year-old got yelled at and humiliated for looking at, and this is after he abused 4 of his siblings and a family friend. I can promise you the public embarrassment is not what led Josh to go on to do what he did. Yep, it's true. Yeah, and Katie, I think Katie's though is saying that he got worse over the years, meaning the ways in which he got worse is because he downloaded shit from the internet. Which, don't get me wrong, that's horrific and everything. I don't know if I would call it worse than him actually physically abusing people, whether they're his sisters or relatives or not. The actual act of just abusing someone in that manner, I don't know if I would consider that less worse than downloading something from the internet. I think they're both kind of neck and neck, really. I think they're both just fucking horrific, just the same. But is it any wonder he became worse? He got worse over the years. So was she saying worse over the years? The act that she's calling worse would be downloading that content. So she's now, by saying that, she's almost shifting part of the blame for him doing that onto the people who yelled at him for 14 hours. Like, you shouldn't do that. You really shouldn't do that. Oh, yeah, this is fucked up, too. Father calls the local police because his 11-year-old daughter is being groomed by an adult man online. The cops proceed to threaten the little girl with making CP, or CSAM, rather. It's crazy. Do you all know this story? Like, I'm going to play, like, okay. So a father learned that an adult male was carrying on a very inappropriate relationship with his 11-year-old daughter, like through the phone, through whatever, virtually, And throughout the course of this inappropriate relationship, the adult male had groomed this little girl. And I don't know if he just simply asked her to take some, lewd photographs and send them to him, or if he coerced her or whatever. I'm not sure exactly how they happened, but not that it really matters, because it doesn't matter. But ultimately that's what happened. So he calls the cops to report this. It's a crime. He's calling the cops to report a fucking crime, right? The cops show up like 6 hours later, like midnight, and he's like, well, I needed you to talk to my daughter, about this. She's in bed right now. And so he just started, I'm going to play the clip for you. He just started to explain it to the cops, and the female cops comes out and says, yeah, well, so your daughter was making child, CP? And he's like, what? No, what? It's fucked up.
Not going.
Why the fuck are they shining the flashlight around his porch and shit?
Cream soda.
Pop?
Yeah.
No.
What?
Is there a better pop than cream soda?
Pop?
Yeah.
I don't know what she said.
I know, that's crispy Sprite.
Oh, you know what? I just bought Sprite. I haven't drank Sprite since I was like a kid. Good that you say that.
Sprite's good, especially like Donald Sprite.
Oh, I lied to you. Did you ever see that Sprite challenge? They drink a bottle of Sprite and try to burp.
Oh, yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, she's in bed now. It's now she's already asleep.
Well, it still happened though, right?
Yeah. I just the whole point. I just wanted you guys to come over and talk to her. I mean, I just want her to realize what this was. I mean, in reality, it's not much you guys probably can do about it, is there?
I mean, she could probably get charged with child porn.
Who, she can? She's 11 years old.
She's creating it, right?
She's 11 years old.
Doesn't matter. She's still making porn.
No, she's not. She's being manipulated by a grown-ass adult on the
Is she
internet.
taking pictures of?
You guys have a nice evening.
Okay.
Thank you for coming. Are you serious? Have a nice evening.
That's fucked up. I forget the name of that guy, the guy who will post videos and ask everyone, who is this person? Like, just internet, do your thing. Like, who are these people? The guy on TikTok and Twitter does that. He's whose profile I seen this on earlier, and I was fucked up. Yeah, I would file a complaint against that officer too. Absolutely. I mean, you're going to blame the 11-year-old for that. So, I mean, what else are you going to blame people for then? Like, oh, my wallet was stolen. Oh, so you were walking around with a fat ass wallet in your back pocket, and now you wonder why the hell it got stolen? Well, maybe you shouldn't have worn such revealing clothing that revealed your wallet. I mean, come on. Linda Reese, what rabbit hole did I have you going down last night? I think I want to say you said something about this too. What did I stream about last night? Oh, the Moms for Liberty thing was at the end. And before that, just reading Katie stuff, right? You had in a short skirt. Yeah. I feel like I should know what you're talking about, but I don't. Hey, Al Capone, what's up? All right, last night's stream. Oh, no, that wasn't it. That was my video. Okay. All right. Okay, this stuff on Unirec's court hearing. Still on JLR. Ruby. Yeah, I'm lost. Okay. Oh, that. Okay, the software underbelly. Okay, yep. Okay. Oh, so I sent you down that rabbit hole? Oh, my Lord. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's a long fucking rabbit hole. Like, I haven't even begun. Like, I'm still like, I can still see up over the ground. That's how shallow I am in my depth of this rabbit hole. That how deep this rabbit hole is. Like, I'm not even, I don't know. I didn't even get my whole body in it yet. Like, there's a lot. It is funny though too. Like, I didn't realize, like, in some ways how well spread the story's getting. I don't think it's quite a big story yet, because like I don't think a lot of people it's on the main stage in discussions between strangers and shit on the internet or in real life. But a lot of people though, actually it's spread. A lot of people are aware of it to a certain degree, various degrees. Like, my friend Jen came over earlier and she knew about it. She knew about it because of I don't think she came into it learning about Bam Margera. I think she came into it because she discovered the channel Software Underbelly. At least that's what she said. She described it as like that to me anyway. And upon learning about Software Underbelly, like, she found that channel to be like incredibly exploitative too. And just following it, she learned about Lima and Amanda Rabb, and she's like just now learning like the whole Bam Margera involvement and shit, like, it's weird though. It's weird that I bring something up to her and she already knows about it, because that doesn't happen when I'm talking to her about YouTube shit. She's like, now who's that again? Who's that? But this time she's like, oh yeah, I know that channel. Yeah, I know about this. I was like, holy shit. Yeah, it's a very deep hole. I'm gonna not touch that one. Bam Margera is getting old and boring. He should. Well, I mean, he's getting old. He should be getting boring, though. I mean, you can't stay that crazy and exciting. You can't live that long of a train wreck for the general public, basically, and expect, I don't know. It's not healthy. It's not a healthy way to live. It's not. Even if you take the drugs out of it, just you're always having to keep everyone's attention and keep everyone's attention so intensely as he's had in the past. That in itself is not a healthy way to live life. So, I mean, he has to get boring. He should get boring. I hope he gets boring. I wish him boring days, because then he'll still be here. Then he'll get to experience his family and him, and Aaron, did you see the BJ Investigate stuff? I'd seen some of it. I mean, I haven't watched everything on this. She's been talking about this for years. Like, it's going to take a while to see even a good portion of it, let alone much of it. So I watched, like, I think the more important ones, like, how, like, if someone asks you about Katie Joy or whatever, you're going to put forward like the certain videos or whatever that describe like the more pertinent situations. I've watched like the equivalent of those important situations that of the content that BJ put out regarding this. Bam was against Lima, then did a 180. I needed to know why. See, I thought that Bam was all for Lima, but then did a 180. Unless he did another 180, which I know there would be a 360, but I know it's still not a 360. Not in this context. She's getting slammed. Who's getting slammed? Who's getting slammed and like since when? Is this new slamming, or is it the some slamming that's been ongoing? Because I haven't watched anything in a couple of days regarding this. Head on over here. Okay, I'm not even seeing anything recent from her. See, I don't really, I don't even want to think about whether or not I like that creator you just mentioned there in chat. I know that I can't trust her. You know, like the whole thing with the whole alleged police report regarding Letitia and everything, like I obtained that. I obtained that through FOIA. I know what that report, what that was, what the in actuality was. It was not an investigation. It wasn't. It was not a real police report. It was a complaint form filed online. But she kept saying it. Looks like there's an investigation. Looks like there's an investigation. Look at this police report. You know, it's like she's in the true crime community, right? So she's got to know better than that. I mean, right? But she kept saying otherwise. And then she started speaking out against those who were accurately describing it. So that tells me that she cares more about narrative than she does about truth and facts. I don't trust her. Oh well. All right, and that note, I'm going to wrap this up. I'll probably stream at some point tomorrow night. It won't be late though tonight, like it was tonight. But if she got something she claims is new, I will. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, even a broken clock can be right twice a day. I mean, I will see, but that's why I gave myself time before I really discussed this, because I would hear her say something, and you know, I was having a hard time remaining objective because I just kept thinking, you know, of how she lied about shit before. I feel like I can't trust her. So I don't know, but I'm glad I gave myself time, because I really feel like for myself, not for anyone else, not for my feelings, not for how I feel or how I think of someone else, but for myself, I came to the conclusion that I think is accurate. And it's one that I came to based on the facts, based on the information, not based on anything else. So, holy shit, Linda Reese. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Oh my God. Thank you. You never heard of me before, John? Never heard of me before. No, I'm kidding. There's nothing really here about me. But I'm glad though that you had a nice time being introduced to the channel, and I'm glad YouTube suggested it. And I'm glad that you're not leaving hating me. Give it time. No, I'm kidding. Right. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I'll listen to information, sure. From pretty much anyone. Like even Katie puts out great shit, often enough, I think. It's, I don't know. I feel like though this covering this story with the whole Aura and Lima and Bam and everything, like I knew nothing about it. I had no pre-known knowledge or whatever. Like I knew no one other than Bam, and what I knew of Bam had nothing to do with this situation that I was about to try and talk on. So for that, I feel like I needed to either verify every bit of information, which is going to get tiresome, or just I don't know, verify what I can. And for what I can't, I like to be able to trust on someone's relevant past behavior and character. And that's where this one creator we're talking about fell up extremely short. You have a good night too, Johnny Mayer. Thanks for stopping by. All right, I am going to wrap this up. It's almost 3 a.m. and I'm tired. I don't have to be to work for a little while yet, but I need to get some sleep. I don't really have any videos I'm working on right now. I don't know what to do. I'm sure something will come up though over the next couple of days where I get motivated to do something, and I will. But until then, it will be live streams. So have a good night, everyone. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Like I said, it won't be as late like it was tonight. It probably won't be early, but I got to start streaming earlier in the night / evening, like 8, 9 o'clock my time. I have to start streaming at that time because everything else is just too late. It's keeping me up too late. And I'm too old to do that. All right. I found my exit door. Bye.